Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video handheld today. So the camera will be a bit shaky, but Arsenal have just beaten Chelsea 3 goals to 1. And at the end, look, what was important today that is that we got the win, and thankfully we did. Obviously 4 games without a win, and against Chelsea, I really thought this was going to be a tough game. I know Chelsea haven't been in the best of form, but it's a London derby. Chelsea would love to, put a dent in our title challenge. So I knew, there's a chance this could be a very difficult game. But I think after 10 minutes, you could just see that the Chelsea players were simply, I don't know if it's a mixture of if they're not just good enough or simply they just can't be asked. Because after the first 10 minutes, you could just see Arsenal were levels above Chelsea. And that I was surprised that we didn't even score in the first half, in the first 10 minutes. But eventually we got the goal. Brilliant finish by Martin Odegaard. A brace today. 2 good assists by Granit Xhaka. These cutbacks. I think these cutbacks is something that Arsenal need to do a lot more. I think the chances when you do it is that it's going to deflect off someone and eventually we'll just go in. So, brilliant goal by Martin Odegaard today. I think he got man of the match. And look, we are 3-0 up in the first half. And I think what Arsenal really need to do, and I think I'm seeing a lot of fans talk about, is how when we are 3-0 up in these type of games against these rivals, that we need to be ruthless and just keep going, go for 4, 5, 6. And it just looks like Arsenal, we're the opposite. Once we go so I think once it's at 3-0 up, we just get too complacent and let a lot of teams get off the hook. And I think today is exactly what we did, because that second half was just simply not, for me. I don't think we were that good in the second half. Yes, we had some few chances, but I just think we allowed Chelsea to get away with it, because I really did see that this was a game that we really could put 4 or 5 past Chelsea, because they just simply were not there. They weren't motivated. They weren't even trying. Half of the players, the midfield was not even trying. And yeah, I think that's something that we do need to improve on, is being ruthless. Because if that was Manchester City, that game will end 5-6-0, and that's something that also do need to improve on. But look, one thing we have been talking about is Arteta making some changes, and that's exactly what he did today. He brought in the likes of Kivior, Jorginho back into the team, and he brought Trossard into the team. And I think all 3 of those players really showed today why they deserve to play the next game. And I think against Newcastle, they all should be playing. Jorginho had a brilliant performance today against his former team. Really dropped a masterclass on them. Trossard, really good performance by him today. Some of the passes he was making, just absolutely just slicing that Chelsea defense. Quite disappointed he did come off in the second half so early at 60 minutes. I really felt that he should have stayed on. It's not like he's playing that many games. Why take him off? He was having a really good game. Jesus had a really good game. Kivior, look, a lot of fans were blaming Rob Holding, and today Kivior came in and really did show that he is a quality player. And for me, I wasn't a big fan of Kivior against the Sporting Lisbon game. I think maybe I was a bit too harsh, but today he looked really calm, really composed. Honestly, had a Aubameyang in the back of his pocket, and the speed the speed is something that we really do lack from Rob Holding. And I think today that when Kivior did come in, we looked more of our usual self, being able to basically control the whole game, because you have that defender that's fast, good on the ball. I think that's exactly what Kivior brought today. So I'm excited to see how he plays against Newcastle. Obviously, it's going to be a much tougher game. He got the likes of Isaac, Wilson, so a lot more tougher positions, but it's going to be a test. And these are the games that he needs to perform. We brought him in as a substitute, obviously not as a first team player, but especially, when you are playing for Arsenal, you need to be able to perform in these big games, no matter, even if you are a substitute, and that's something he has to do. In terms of other players' notable performances, I think Granit Xhaka did okay today. Obviously got 2 assists, but I really think he could have scored a goal in that second half. And obviously we did concede a goal, unfortunately. I think that was such a stupid goal to concede. When I'm looking at the goal, Zinchenko, honestly, you really okay, yeah, you got you lost your man, but don't just give up. The man Zinchenko literally just gave up and was seeing Madueke or whatever his name was just running and score. Zinchenko, you have to do better. If you lose your man, at least go fight, man. Show some determination. But Zinchenko just let him, and I think that's what was so disappointing. And what's really important is that next game against Newcastle, Zinchenko has to be switched on, because Newcastle are a far greater team than Chelsea, and it's going to be a really tough game. We are top of the league as it stands, but obviously Manchester City do have a game in hand. I think it's once against West Ham tomorrow. But look, it's not in our hands anymore. All we can do is just win every game and hope for the best. Hope that Man City drop points. honestly, that's all we can do. But yeah, I mean, not many other